Okay, so welcome to the session. This is mobility for athletic performance. It's not just for performance, it's going to be for recovery and to strengthen and lengthen those muscles. Okay, so for the first stretch we're going to get into is going to be a butterfly stretch. So I want you to get your back against the wall or some hard surface, a couch, whatever you have in front of you. And I want you to get your feet together like this. Okay, and bring them as close together into you as you can. Get back straight against the wall, and we're going to get into this butterfly stretch. So this might not be the most comfortable place for you if you haven't spent any time in it, but you're going to stretch out the abductors and the groins here. You should feel a nice release on it. And we're going to do some pulses, just pushing our knees down on this and pulling from the glutes as we're doing it. So think about pulling from the glutes. We're just gently just going to push down for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in as you're pushing down. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Just pushing with the glutes. Push down on the heels here as well. And 10. So just loosen out for a second there if you need to. We're just going to do that again. So just, if you need to shake them out a bit, you might be able to readjust and bring them in a bit closer. Bring them back in a bit closer as well. We're just going to push down again. 1, nice and gentle. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So some of you might be up to here like this. It'll take time to get down close to ground, and the ultimate aim is to get your knees flat on the ground. Okay, but that'll take a lot of time and effort. Just loosen them out. We're just going to do 5 more. This is a nice gentle warm up for all the hip work and foot and ankle work we're going to do. Just going to go for 5 more. So position yourself nicely. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and hold it there and release it. Okay, good. Now next one we're going to do, we're going to go into the 90-90 position. If you're not familiar with this position, you might need something to lean against, a stool, a yoga block, or a book to keep yourself upright. So the 90-90 position is where you have your front leg in front of you at a 90-degree angle. So a 90-degree angle in front of me, the femur is directly in front of me, vertically, and the front leg is horizontal here. So the back leg is going out like this, and the other leg is going out vertically like this as well. Okay, so this is called the 90-90 because you have 2 90-degree angles, okay? So the aim of this is to be sitting up straight. Just get into the best position I can here for the camera. The aim of this is to sit up straight. So if you need a yoga block to do that, you can use it to position yourself on it. And you should be able to just sit up straight here like this. If you need to put your hand on the ground just to stay straight, that's fine. And even here you might be able to get a good stretch. You might feel this is like a position you need to just spend a lot of time in. Probably is. And you can just stay here for a second and get comfortable. But if you're used to this position, you'll probably know what it feels like. Just get comfortable here, make sure everything is lined up for the first stretch in 90-degree angles. Okay, and we're going to focus on the back leg first. we're going to drive the back heel into the ground and we're going to lift the back knee up, okay? So everything else is braced. Keep everything really straight and really stiff, and it's just this leg doing the work, and you're going to feel it up here. Okay, drive the back heel into the ground and lift up and gently down. We're going to do 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so we're going to work on, that was internal rotation, so we're internally rotating the hip. Now we're going to work on external rotation. So we're going to hinge forward like this. Okay, so you're just going to hinge forward. Belly button is going right over the knee, towards the knee. You should be getting it in your glute there, your piriformis. So this is an excellent piriformis stretch. I'm getting it right in my glute here now. So don't worry too much about this back leg. Just get wherever you have comfortable. Just make sure this leg is at a 90-degree angle in front of you. Okay, so I'm going right over this knee here. And back. So what I don't want is the spine to round. I want to keep everything straight, looking ahead, and just think of hinging forward. And back up. Okay, same again, 3 more. Think of hinging forward. Back up. Should be getting this in glute, and 1 more. Hold it there. So that's a good stretch. So now we're going to go back and focus on some internal rotation again. Now the same again exercise we did first. Everything in the 90-90 position. And we're going to drive our back heel into the ground. And we're going to lift our knee off the ground for some internal rotation. Lift it up as high as you can and keep there for like 3 or 4 or 5 seconds. And gently down. Up. Push it up. And down. 3 more. Up. And down. 2 more. Up. And down, and last one. And down. Okay, we're going to go back into the external rotation now. So we're going to go straight over, hinge forward. Remember, it's a hinge. We're getting that right in the glute there, in the piriformis. Back up. Remember, if you have to put your hand on the yoga block to stay more upright, that's perfectly fine. It's just about getting the stretch. Three. 4. And 1 more. And 5. Okay, good. So we're going to come over now onto our other side. And we're going to do into the 90-90 position on this side now. So what you notice is you probably have one side that's tighter than the other side. And that's completely normal. For me, it's this right hip here that I have a bit of tightness with. It's gently, slowly coming out of it. A lot of gentle work, but it'll take time. So I want this front leg flat on the ground, or as flat as you can get it, and this back leg in a 90-90 position. So there should be a good gap of like 12 inches here between your heel and your knee, and you should try to keep your body upright. Okay, so if you want to look at your knee on this, that's fine. So we're going to drive the back heel into the ground and lift up the knee. So you might notice it's not going as far on one side, or maybe it's going further on the other side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. Remember, if you're only able to just come off here like this, that's fine. Just go to wherever your level is, whatever your 80% is of discomfort. You don't want to be in any pain or too much discomfort, just a place where you can do it and gradually progress. So we're going to go forward, hinge forward now, belly button over the femur for our piriformis stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, good. We're going to go back and work on our internal rotation now. So drive the back heel or the heel into the ground and lifting up the knee. So you can look that way, that's fine. You can lift the toes off as well to get a bit more into it. And down. And down. One more. Now we're going to go for external rotation again for the glute. So hinge forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, last one. So this is gentle stretching we're doing to ease into some of the more strengthening work on the hips and all we'll be doing now next. Okay, so if you're uncomfortable in this position, 99 position, I suggest doing it every day and spending a little bit of time in there and you'll gradually loosen up. Okay, I want you to sit with your back against the wall again. Sit with your back against the wall. Try to get your back of your back right against the wall as far as you can. So if this is a bit of an uncomfortable position, I'd advise sitting on a towel, a pillow or a yoga block or a book to maybe prop yourself up a bit. Okay, because this, if your hip flexors are tight, this might be a good idea. You might find you need to do this. It'll make the exercise a little bit easier. But if not, you can just go. So we're going to do hip flexor lifts off. So you're going to feel a bit of spasm on this, especially if you haven't done it before. So these are hip flexor lift offs. So we're basically going to lift off like this, but I'll give you a few pointers and cues for this. So we're going to keep both legs straight, point the toes away. Want to brace the body. To make it more easy, you bring yourself out a bit like that. To make it more difficult, you'd hinge forward a bit. So we're going to brace the body, point the toe away, and contract the glute, or the quad, sorry. So engage the quad, tense it, and we're going to lift off the leg, keeping everything straight, and hold for about 5 seconds. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what probably happened is you spasmed up down here. It's completely normal, so that's what you want. So just come out of it, just loosen it out, and we'll go again for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you spasm, just tense it out and just start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So just loosen that out. If it's a bit sore, that's fine. Just the hip flexors are weak. Our hip flexors tend to be weak from sitting too much, so we need to strengthen them. It's essential we strengthen the hip flexors. So this is the best exercise I found to do that. So we're going to do the other side now. Point the toe away, brace the body, so you can just put your hands on the ground, brace yourself, so keep everything else tense, and tense the quad, and we're just going to lift off for height. 2, 3, 4, 5. So deep breath in. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, if you spasm, just massage it out and reset. 2 more. 2, 3, 4, 5. And last one. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, good. Going to go back to this leg again. If you're only lifting off the ground a centimetre even, that's fine. Or if you spasm after a second and have to reset, that's fine too. It'll get better over time the more you do it. So we're going to go this leg again. Point the toe away. Contract the quad and lift off. 2, 3, 4, 5. Down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more. So it's quite intense. 2, 3, 4, 5. And last one. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Back to this leg again. Track the quad, point the toe away, brace yourself and breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Shake it out a little bit if you need to. 2, 3, 4, 5. Deep breath. 3, 4, 5. So remember the cues. You're lifting from the quad. You don't think you're lifting from the heel. Lift from your glute and your quad. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more. Keep working. 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. Try hold it that little bit longer if you can. 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Okay, we're just going to do 2 more on both of them now. Just loosen out a little bit like that. So what you'll find is by the end of the sets on this, as you go on, you'll find you're not getting as much spasm and it's a little bit easier to get that much more height on your heel coming up. So we'll do this leg again, 2 more. So try hold it for that full 5 seconds. Ready? Point the toe away, contract the quad and brace yourself, lift off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. On this leg now. Just shake that out a bit. 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. 1 more. 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. So that's our hip flexor lift off. Excellent for the hip flexors. We're going to do something a little bit more easier now. We're going to stand up and we're going to go into our horse stance pulses. So I want you to just stand up anywhere. You have a little bit of space and I want you to put your feet together. So we're going to do a 3-step horse stance. I'm going to show you how to get into this first. So stand with your feet together like this. And I want you to just move your heels away like this. Keep your toes together. Then I want you to move your toes away like that. That's 2. And then your heels away. So that's 3. And just keep it there, but just point your toes out. So that's 3 steps. Sometimes you might want to do a 5-step. You do the same except 5. So this is our horse stance. It's basically just a wide squat. And what we're going to do is we're going to slowly squat down here and sort of just pulse for 4 seconds. 3, 4. Gently up. So keep an anterior pelvic tilt here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just explore both sides, maybe where it's tight. This should be nice and gentle. Just go as deep as you can without obviously leaning forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. So as you get through them, we're going to do 10. You might be able to go a bit deeper. Slowly down. Just find little spots that are tight there. You should be just feeling this in the glutes, different areas in the groins maybe. This is 4 now. 4 seconds down here. 5, and up, 6, breathe in, and breathe in when you start. 7, 3 more. Keep it nice and loose, no discomfort. 8, 9, and 1 more. Hold it there for an extra few seconds, hold it. And back up. Okay, so that should be nice and gentle. So we're going to work a little bit on the ankles now and feet after that. So we're going to give the hips a rest and we're going to work on the ankles and the feet. So you need a yoga block or a book, something with a bit of a raise on it. Maybe you could just use a couple of DVDs or a pillow or something like that if you don't have anything, but just anything at all you can just raise up on like this. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your feet up on it, covering about quarter way of your feet, just covering over your toes really. And we're going to do our anterior tibialis stretch, which is basically just a shin stretch. We want to stretch out these shins. If you're doing a lot of running, which we are, you want, this is not an area where you have to stretch a lot and people often get shin splints here. So we're going to just put your toes up on the block and we're going to sit back like this. Now, already here, a lot of people might be getting into a bit of discomfort. So if you are, you want to just stay here for about 30 seconds. So maybe you're just experiencing a bit of discomfort here and you're staying here for 30 seconds, that's perfectly fine. But the goal is to be able to just get here and just really sit back into that stretch, getting it up the shin. So you're just over your toes here, covering it. And if you can just try and lean back into it if you're comfortable. But it'll probably take a little bit of work here first. You want to be at that 70, 80, 90%, 70, 80% of discomfort, where you're able to manage it, you're not in pain, but it's not the most comfortable either. So you know you're getting a good stretch on it. Just hold it there for another few seconds. Really, really stretches out those feet as well, and toes. Just come out with that. So what I want you to do now is just on your big toe, on your toes like this. We're going to do our foot stretch on the toe now. So your big toe is going to get a bit of a stretch here. Just come up like this. Put your feet more or less close together and start sitting back onto your heel. Now you might be getting a stretch on your big toe here. We're just going to hold it for about 30 seconds. If you can, sit back a bit further and you'll be really getting into your heels. Or sorry, your big toe. So sit back on your heels. If you can go back even further, just try it. But the big toe is fundamental for how we run and the rest of our body. The feet are the foundation of the body, so we need to get them strong, supple and mobile. So just sit there, come out of it, get our yoga block, put it under the shins, and we're going to just go back into the tip stretch for the shin. Sitting back on it, getting right in to the shin here, right into the tibialis, the anterior tibialis. Lean back as far as you can. If you're not getting the stretch there, you can lean back further, but it's fine just to be here. Most people probably get a good stretch here. We're holding these for around 30 seconds each. The longer the better, but just for the purposes of this session, we're just going to hold it for 30 seconds each. Generally, you'd want to hold these for about a minute, but 30 seconds is fine too, it's good. Okay, back to the toe stretch. On our toes and sitting back. So it might be annoying, uncomfortable, all that, but that's good. Get into that position and just hold it. 5 more seconds. Hold it there if you can, get your stretch. Push out into your big toe and come out of it. So one more for the shins. Sit back onto the block. So it's just my toes covering the block now. That's fine for me. I'm going to get a nice stretch there. So after a lot of running and stuff like that, this is crucial with the hard ground. We stretch out these feet and hips. Keep breathing. Just want to lengthen all the muscles. More length we have in the muscles, the less chance there is of injury. Okay, and the toes. So hold this for about 30 seconds. And we're moving on then. Okay, just come up, stretch out, wiggle those feet, those toes, and stand up. Now we're going to do a bit of ankle work. So our ankle is meant to be able to twist and turn like this. So we get sprained ankles and stuff when we haven't got mobility in our ankles. So we're going to come onto the side of your foot like this. So just make sure we can see this. Side of your foot like this. You want maybe the wall or something beside you so you can just brace yourself against. And the idea is to be able to stand on the side of your ankle like this. So if you're just getting a good stretch in that now, be very careful with this. If you're getting a good stretch in that, just hold it there for 30 seconds. If you need more, you might want to just sort of twist your hips sideways. So you're getting more out of it. So hold it there. So you might just want to twist your hips almost around to get more of a stretch out of this one. Hold it there. So keep on like playing around with it wherever you get a good stretch and hold. Switch the other side. Twist the ankle over like this and just maybe walk around it like this. Wherever you're able to get a good stretch on it. The idea is to get all your body weight onto it, but only do that if you're comfortable here. Don't put all your body weight on it if you think you might damage yourself or anything like that. All these are meant to be gentle stretches with a little bit of discomfort. Stretch into it. Nice stretch there. And come out. Okay, again. Come out of it. So I'm at the point where I find it hard actually to get a stretch out of any of this now. So that's good. I could land on the side of my ankle here and be unlikely to damage it. It'd have to be a fairly bad landing. Could happen, but we want to limit the chances of that happening. So hold it there for another 15 seconds. Breathe. Okay, shake it out. We're going to go to the other side. So you can just stand on it here if you like. If you want, you can just twist around. Get right into it then. The other thing I do sometimes actually is I just push this knee forward. That gets another little bit of an extra stretch on it. Maybe just support yourself with your other leg as well. Just in and out pulses with your knee forward. So the more you're stretching out, the looser it will become. It's amazing every time you come back, it's a bit easier. You have to get a bit more on it, just consistency. Okay, good. So now we're going to come into our couch stretch. the one I might show you a picture on the WhatsApp. So this is a tough stretch if you haven't done it before, but it's the best stretch I've found for the quads and hip flexor. If your hip flexor or if your quads are tight, you're not going to feel it as much in the hip flexor, you'll probably feel it more in your quad. So the best way to get into this is to just get into this position, put one shin against the wall. Now the idea is to have the shin vertical to the wall, flat against the wall. But if you haven't done this before, I'd advise you to just bring the knee out a bit like this. Then just step up on the front leg and sit back a bit. Okay, so the end goal is to get your shin flat against the wall and your back flat against the wall as well. You'll have serious mobility if you're able to do that. But most people just start here, where you're just a bit out from the wall and you're just gently just pushing back to the wall. You should be getting a good stretch right down your hip flexor and your quad here. And we're going to hold these for about a minute now, so get into a point where you can hold it for a minute. You shouldn't be in too much discomfort. You might feel a bit sore on your foot against the wall. If you don't have a wall to do this against, you can do it against the couch, the side of the couch or something like that, or a bench or a chair. The wall tends to be the best. So we're just going to hold it there, and I want you to get the best stretch out of this. Think of contracting your glute on this side. Think of tensing your glute, and you'll feel it more then in the quad and the hip flexor. Hold it for another 20 seconds. Okay. So just gently come out of that. So this might not be the nicest stretch for you if you haven't done it before. So put the knee against the wall, and you can, once you get up there, you can readjust. You can grab your back leg and your front leg. Okay. So you'll notice that one side is much tighter than the other, one side is looser than the other. That's normal. So I'm getting right into the hip flexor down there now on this. It's an amazing stretch. Hold it here for a minute. Just keep pushing just keep contracting your quad, or your quad and your glute. The more you tense your glute, the more you feel it in the quad. Seconds. Okay, just come forward a bit and come down. We're going to do that again. Just going to give a different angle over here. So just come down, leg up like this, other foot up, and we're just coming up against the wall. So the idea is to get your back as close as you can. I have a lot of flexibility now on this side, and I'm able to get pretty close. Not fully there yet with the back and shin at the wall, but it won't be long. Just breathe when you're here. Long, deep breaths. You might need something just to grab onto, might make it a bit easier if you have anything like that. Maybe a bench out in front of you, bench beside you. Just hold it here. Try to go back a little bit further. And switch. Do one more time on this side. So first, put the shin up against it. Then hop forward. This side's a little bit tighter for me. And you're just holding it here for a minute. Shouldn't be, just bring your knee out if you're in discomfort. Your foot might hurt. that'll get better over time. So this is stretching the shin as well, the tib. So you should be getting that stretch here as well. That's why we do it in our warm-up. Make this a little bit easier. Just bring it back to the wall. Good stretch there. Okay, come out of it. Gently. Good. So we're nearly there now. What I want you to do is get a yoga block or your book in your hand. And I want you to just lie on your side. If you want to lay down like this, that's fine. And you're bringing out your feet in a sort of 90-degree angle. Okay. What is the best place to do this? Okay, so you're almost like that. You want to put the yoga block or book between them. If you want to lie down like this, just get comfortable, and you want the legs almost at 90 degrees. Okay? You're going to squeeze the block. You're just going to lift one foot straight up. So you should be feeling this right in the hip. So this is internal rotation, very important for your hip flexor all around here. So up and down. Hold up there. Just push it up. Squeeze the block and down. Should be getting a good spasm there. If you do, you just reset, come back in, squeeze that block and lift up. Push that heel up and down. Don't compensate with any side part of your body. That's why it's good just lying on your side like this. And up. So I'm about to go pretty high there now. We'll do one more. Okay, good. So we're going to come the other side. Just lying on your side. Squeeze the block. Brace the body. And you should be getting right in here. Squeeze into the block. Lift up. And down. Squeeze that block. You notice that one side is much tighter than the other, completely normal. 4 and 5. Okay. Good finish. We're just going to come back with our back against the wall. We're going to go into our butterfly stretching once more. Should be able to get into this a little bit more now. We're not going to push down on it, just hold it there for about 15 seconds. And pushing out. Loosen the body, just loosen the wrists. The neck. Bring them out. Stand up. Just loosen out the feet a bit. We're just going to get the feet just about 6 inches apart now. We're just going to hang down here. Just hang, don't go too far, so this is just for your hamstrings. If you can touch your toes, that's great, without bending your knees. So just put your head between your shoulders go as far as you can. Just hang there, just put your weight onto it. Just be loose on this. So just shake out the feet. And that brings us to the end. So hopefully you got a bit of value out of this. I advise you doing it again once more between now and the next one, and stay mobile.